Happy learning, dear students. Let's solve two problems today pertaining to exponents. Let's start with the first question. What year in the 19th century, which means the year through 1801 till 1900, was a perfect square? So they are asking us to find out between 1801 till 1900. Okay, so in order to do this question, let's go with some random assumptions first. Let's see what is 30 square. We know that the answer is going to be 900, but they are asking us to start from 1800. Okay, so let's check for 40 square and 50 square. So 40 square 1600, 50 square 2500. So we understand that the value 1801 till 1900 is somewhere between the 40 to 50, because your 40 square starts at 1600 and 50 square ends at 2500, right? So it means that your 1801 till 1900 is present between these two only. Okay, so now let's try to find out the value of 41 square, 42, 43, 44, like that, and see which of these values are present in this particular range. Okay, so this is what we are going to do now. Let's find out. First of all, 40 square. So what is the value of 40 square? We know already it is 1600. With the help of 40 square, let's try to find out 41 square. Again, when I say 41 square, immediately we tend to multiply 41 into 41 and then get the answer, which is correct. But the main aim of moving into any kind of formula is to solve the problem easier. Okay, so instead of doing 41 into 41, you can do a very simplest method of solving this with the help of the formula a plus b the whole square. So what's the formula for a plus b the whole square? We know that the formula is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So the first one can be taken as a and the second terminology can be taken as b. Let's do this now. 41 square. So 41 square can be written as 40 plus 1 the whole square. Again, you can even write it as 1 plus 40, but that don't make a big difference. Okay, so I'm writing it as 40 plus 1 the whole square. Here I am assuming a as 40 and b as 1. So carefully look into this formula and try to find out. The first one is a square. So it is going to be 40 square plus 2 into a value is 40, b value is 1, plus b square is 1 square. Okay, so we have already found out 40 square here. It is 1600. So 1600 plus 80 plus 1. So the answer for 41 square is 1681. Okay, so this is one of the easiest way of solving 41 square rather than taking 41 square as 41 into 41. Okay, now let's try for 42. (42 square). So 42 square, again, you can either take it as 40 plus 2 the whole square, or you can also take it as 41 plus 1 the whole square. In either ways you can take and then assume it and do the problem. So here let me take it as 41 plus 1 the whole square. So this is a and this is b. Let's start solving this. A square plus 2 into 41 into 1 plus 1 square. So we have already found out 41 square. So it is 1681 plus 41 into 2 is 82 plus 1. So the answer is 1764. I hope you can get the point, right? Now let's try to find out what is 43 square. I'm going to again make it as 42 plus 1. Okay, 42 plus 1, the whole square. So what is the formula? 42 square plus 2 into 42 into 1 plus 1 square. Again, you can either take it as 42 plus 1 or you can take it as 40 plus 3 and then proceed. It's completely left to you. Okay, we have already found out what is 42 square. So simply write 1764 plus 42 into 2 is 84 plus 1. So the answer to this question is 1849. Okay. Similarly, you can try 44 square. Come on, do it. Take 44 square as 43 plus 1 the whole square and try to find out the answer. Try to find out what is 44 square. Your answer will be 1936. You can check to it. Okay. So now let's go back to the question. So in the question they are asking us, what year in the 19th century is present between 1801 till 1900? So when you just check to these values, so 40 square is 1600, 41 square is 1681, 42 square is 1764, 43 square is 1849, 44 square is 1936. So you can check to all these 5 values. So the range 1801 till 1900 is obviously 1849 value only. Other values are either less or higher. So the answer to this question is 43 square. Okay, that is the answer to this question. So this is how we need to approach the problem. Initially, when we give the range as 1800 to 1900, check with the numbers which tend to give the answer easily. That's why I took initially 30 square, 40 square, 50 square, because just by looking into the question, I can tell the answer. Like 900 for 30 square, 1600 for 40 square. But when I say 31 square, really it takes time for us to solve it. So check with the numbers for which the answer is easy. Then try to go and solve for each and every question. Okay, so now I have identified initially as 40 square. After that, what did I do? I tried to find out what is 41 square. Instead of multiplying 41 into 41, I'm going to take it as 40 plus 1, the whole square. That seems to be even more simpler. Next, I found out 42 square, 43 square, and 44 square. After that, out of all these 5 values, I find 43 square is present between 1801 till 1900. So that's the answer. I hope you can get the answer to this question. Now let's try the second one. I hope with the idea given with the first question, you can try the second one. You can guess it. What perfect square is closest to 5000? It's even simpler when compared to the first one. So your maximum limit they have given you as 5000. Okay. So let's start with might be 50 square first. It's 2500. You cannot take it. 60 square, it's 3600. You cannot take that. Let's take 70 square, 4900. So it is somewhat nearer to 5000, just 100 difference. So my answer 5000 should be somewhere present after 70. That's the idea or the conclusion what I arrive first, right? So with the help of 70 square, let's try to find out what is 71 square. Let's take the same formula, a plus b the whole square. We know the formula is a square plus 2ab plus b square. With the help of this formula, try to find out 71 square. So what is 71 square? 70 plus 1 the whole square. Okay. So I'm taking the value of a as 70 and b as 1. Let me do the formula. So it is going to be 70 square plus 2 into 70 into 1 plus 1 square. So we know that the value of 70 is 4900 plus 140 plus 1. Okay. So let me just add this. It becomes 1405. So the answer to this is going to be 5041. So in the question, they are asking you to find out the perfect square which is closest to 5000. But your 71 square has already crossed the 5000, right? So 5000 is present somewhere between 70 square and 71 square, but you don't have any numbers present between the both. So we come to a conclusion that 71 square is the perfect square which is closest to 5000. So this is the answer. Okay. So when compared to the first question, the second one is even more simpler. Try to use the formula and then find out the square value so that you feel it easier as we proceed to the higher exponents. Thank you, students. We'll meet in another video.